Hey everybody, Mike Kennedy again. Hey, thought I'd do a little video on how to change out a power lock actuator on a 1994 Ford F150. I'm sure this covers various models and years. Anyway, here we are at the door. Obviously the door panel has been removed. Just want to point a few things out. That rivet holds the bracket for the power lock module. Do not remove that. You don't need to. However, if you look right inside of these vents, the third one down, second, third, and fourth, really the third, you can see your power lock module. The connection you can actually see really well in the second and third with your door lock bar. So we're going to remove that first, and then we're going to remove the power lock. So what I want to show you is, let's take this off. And I'm going to look in here, and you can see it. In fact, I'm going to move the lock. That's it right there. So it's hard to actuate. That's why I'm replacing it. And the key it's hard to open with the key. So that's what we're gonna do. So right around that top piece, there's a little zip tie. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'll be back. Actually, what I thought I'd do first is light that up a little bit so you can see it better. But you can see there's a zip tie around that. So I'm going to cut that off and see if we're able to disconnect that actuator rod. I'll be back. Welcome back. You didn't even know I was gone. So I cut the tie wrap around the actuator bar and was able to get all the extra rubber around there gone. So I still can't get that little piece off. So what I'm going to do is, from out here, from the, I think the fourth one down, let's see, yeah, the fourth vent down, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to take this hacksaw blade and cut that blue shaft, and I shall return. Okay, here I am again. Just to let you know, it took me about 30-40 seconds to cut through that blue rod, but just make sure you hold it nice and steady and you don't cut any electrical while you're using your hacksaw. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the actuator inside the door, and you could see it's only held in two spots. The spot I'm lighting up, and of course on the other side. Now that bar has been cut free, that whole thing rotates nicely, and then you can see the electrical connector down there. So what I'm going to do now is that little mount, I'm going to pry that away and see if I can free up that actuator. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to pause right here and show you what I did. I pried that little mount away. Right, you can see him right there. Here's the actuator. I pried just the one on the, as you're looking at it, the one on the right away, and then I just took this actuator and just pulled it back with a little bit of force, and it popped right out of there. Now I'll take the electrical connector off the bottom, and I will return. Okay, another quick pause before I pull this thing out. Let me see if I can get this video to focus here. Just pay attention to your actuator orientation. So mine was put in so I can see that little emblem right there on the actuator. It was actually facing that way. So this may save you some pain later. Okay everybody, now we have to deal with this rod. I have my inspection mirror so you could see it. We cut off of course the blue shaft. We follow this rod all the way up to the switch. And you can see right there, all we have to do is push it toward the vents and rotate it to the bottom toward me, and we should be able to pull it right out. I know, always sounds easy. I'll be back. Okay, I don't know why it worked, but it worked. So we pushed it back, rotated the bottom down, pulled it out, and bang, it comes right out. Honestly, it took me, I don't know, 15 seconds. It goes in like this, right? So you gotta from the outside here, I pulled back with some needle nose, pulled the bottom up, pushed that tit out, and then it just pulled right out, and there it is. Let's go put our new actuator together. Hi again, we're back at the actuator. I got it out of the truck, and I have that rod that we cut away with the hacksaw. Right? That blue rod was only about 1/4 inch in diameter. Like I said, it cut pretty quick. Remove the actuator, and we're going to do some comparison, and everything matches up. This is the mount for the original, that's the new mount, and they're in the same location. Stack these up and everybody lines up, so looking good there. Now the advantage of somebody doing a video helps you in the long run, of course. So I tried to remove this collar thinking I needed this shaft or this bar, but it occurred to me as I was doing that and poking holes in my finger that this kit came with a bag of rods, so you don't need this at all. So in my case, I just did a comparison, and mine is the longer one of these rods. So that rod just interfaces with this little fitting right here. So this whole thing, this and the new rod, replaces that. So again, cut that, take that off, you no longer need it, and figure out what size, what length rod you need for your year and model truck or car, and put it together and go put it in. Oh, by the way, I got this actuator on Amazon. I think it was 20 bucks, so they're very inexpensive. Let me put this thing together and I'll be back. So just want to show you what I'm doing here. I put that rod, clipped it into there, but I'm going to go ahead and add a couple zip ties to that spot and this spot down here. They just don't seem to stay very well, so I'm going to add a zip tie, and then that rod just clips in like that. Pretty straightforward. Now I tried to put this in the truck like this, and it's very difficult, so I'm going to take that rod off, hook the rod, and install the actuator, and then marry those two up. Okay, see what happens. Okay, back at the door, you can see I hooked up the electrical connector, ready to rotate this in. Your top fitting goes in that direction since you're going to be pushing your rod into it. I simply took that rod with my hand and slipped it in the hole, just pretty much the same way you took it out, put it back in. Now I'm going to rotate this connector, or this the actuator back into the bracket, and then hook up the rod. Okay, just a quick recap. I have the actuator back in, and it was a struggle. You got to get that thing in there, twist it, use a screwdriver, help pry open the mount, but I was able to get it in. So I put the connector on first, and then pried and twisted that bad boy in there, and all of a sudden, bang, it snaps into place and you're good to go. Hook up your bar that you had put in previously. Just reach in there and line up the bar with the little top receptacle, push it in, it'll lock, and then activate it, do a little test, and you'll be good to go. Before you close this dude up, make sure you do a test and get everything good to go. So as I said, the recap, to take it out, come over here, go down to your fourth vent, push this down, that raises your bar up, and then cut that shaft, and then pull your actuator out, disconnect the electrical, and then pull your locking bar out. and you're good to go. Good luck.